knowing that they have police and prosecutors standing with them to make sure that anyone who would even consider engaging in this type of heinous conduct knows that there will be accountability. And then there's a third level to it, which is it's not done. An investigation is not done until it's complete. We know that it is possible that in this case, this same defendant violated more people. We know that people need to hear and hear again and hear again that if someone you don't know, someone you didn't give permission, comes up and puts their hands on you, puts their hands outside your dress or inside your dress, heaven forbid, we need you to know that's a crime. And they should be held accountable. There is no reason a woman or anyone else should be walking around Center City in fear of what can happen. And if anything like that happens, I can assure you that not only the Philadelphia Police Department, but this office is dedicated to making sure that that stops immediately, that they are put in under arrest, that they are incarcerated, and that they are held properly, justly, and very, very seriously accountable for this kind of a heinous act. Is that true here? Yes. Is that also true for people who have been sexually assaulted or violated in other places, in other cases, at other times? Of course it is. These types of offenses, these sexual assault types of offenses, are among the most underreported for 100 reasons we know. And I hope that there is someone out there who either as a witness or as a victim can shed more light on Dynell Walker, because, oh, trust me, we're listening. But I also hope that there are people out there who may have suffered a terrible crime like this from someone else who will come forward, because they will start to see that the Philadelphia Police Department and this office are utterly and completely dedicated to making sure that that is captured, that that is separated from society, that that is held accountable in every way. The Philadelphia District Attorney's Office has a victim services team that can be accessed at 215-686-8000. Anyone who has information on defendant Dynell Walker or someone who you believe might be him, please contact the Philadelphia Police or our office and let us know, or both. And anyone who feels that there's an incident that was not reported that you're more willing to report now, please do the same. We could not be more serious about wanting to make sure that there is safety, that there is security for people who are walking around Center City, and that there is accountability for anybody who would violate them. I am joined today, and happy to be joined, by Lakeisha Anthony, who is the Senior Manager of Advocacy for WAR, that's WOAR, also known as the Philadelphia Center Against Sexual Violence, which has been a tremendous partner with this office for many years. We have ADA Amanda Hedrick, who's the chief of the DAO's charging unit, ADA Katrina Wattis, who is the chief of the DAO's Family Violence and Sexual Assault Unit. We have Mariel Dela Cruz, director of the DAO's Victim Services Unit, and Tracy Washington, assistant director of support services for the DAO's Victim Services Unit. We also have, I hope I don't mispronounce this, I almost said Hirion, but we have Giriana Hernandez, Assistant Director of External Victim Services Partnerships with the DAO's Victim Services Unit. I'm going to say less and let all of these good people say more, and then I'll have some comments at the end and field any questions we may have. In this order, I'm going to ask these good people to come forward and provide information in relation to this case, and you all know what information that is. First, ADA Amanda Hedrick. Second, ADA Katrina Wattis. Third, Mariel Dela Cruz. And fourth, Lakeisha Anthony, Senior Manager of Advocacy at WAR. Once that is completed, I will get back up here.
Good afternoon. I am here to discuss these incidents and the charges that have been filed in these matters. The first incident that has been charged occurred on August 2nd of 2025 at approximately 8:15 a.m. In the area of 1600 Waverly Street. The 36-year-old female victim was approached from behind by the offender, who put his arm around her neck and squeezed. He then indecently assaulted her. She screamed and was able to get away from the offender, who then left the area. The second incident occurred on August 3rd of 2025 at approximately 1:58 a.m. in the area of 17th and Lombard Streets. That involves a 26-year-old female victim who felt someone walking closely behind her. Believing that the person was trying to move past her, she turned around to let that person go past. When the offender grabbed her, pushed her up against a car, and then indecently assaulted her, she began screaming, and the offender then released her eventually and let her run away. And then the third incident that we're discussing also occurred on August 3rd at approximately 12:30 p.m. That is in the area of the 2500 block of Webster Street. In that case, a 27-year-old female victim was approached from behind by the offender, who grabbed her body and put his arms around her. He then indecently assaulted her. She began screaming, and the defendant eventually let her go before she was able to run inside, and he then left the area. The police were able to gather surveillance video, and through all of that surveillance video and a series of anonymous tips in response to images that were disseminated to the public, investigators from the Special Victims Unit were able to identify the perpetrator of these offenses as 27-year-old Dynell Walker. The information, the evidence in these cases was submitted to the charging unit of the district attorney's office. All of that information was reviewed, and an affidavit was approved, and a warrant was issued for Mr. Walker. He was apprehended on August 6th, and he is charged with the following offenses. He's charged with 1 count of aggravated indecent assault, 2 counts of indecent assault, 3 counts of unlawful restraint, and then an assortment of misdemeanor charges related to those incidents. For these 3 matters, his bail is set at a total of $1.5 million.
Good afternoon. The Family Violence and Sexual Assault Unit is a specialty unit at the District Attorney's Office, dedicated to the prosecution of domestic violence, child abuse, and sexual assault. These cases are prosecuted by some of the most experienced prosecutors in this office, alongside a group of paralegals and victim advocates who have dedicated their careers to the prosecution of these types of crimes. It is an honor and a privilege to work alongside of them and represent them as their supervisor here today. Crimes like this have lasting effects, not only on the victims and their families, but on the community as a whole. Our goal is to protect the community and to restore a sense of safety in the community. Women deserve to feel safe in this city. All people do. FESA partners closely with the Special Victims Unit and with other outside agencies such as the Philadelphia Center for Sexual Violence, who you'll hear from today. We partner closely to accomplish that goal. I want to thank the Special Victims Unit for their thorough investigation, which led to the swift apprehension of Mr. Walker. I also want to thank the survivors who had the courage to come forward and report these crimes. Crimes that, as the DA said, are so often underreported. FESA is honored to serve them and the public in the pursuit of justice. If you are a survivor of sexual assault, or if you have information about these assaults and you wish to come forward, please know that the District Attorney's Office and the Special Victims Unit are here to help you. The Special Victims Unit can be contacted at 215-686-3251. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. At the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office, our Victim Services Unit is committed to standing with survivors of sexual violence, not just as they seek justice, but as they take a step to towards healing. We understand that these crimes can have a deep, lasting impact in communities, and our mission is to ensure that every survivor is met with compassion, respect, and support. In the Family Violence and Sexual Assault Unit, we have assigned victim witness coordinators that play a vital role in the prosecution. From the moment a case is assigned, they become the survivor's dedicated advocate. They explain the court process, they accompany survivors to court, and provide updates on progress of the case. They also address practical needs, such as arranging transportation to and from court. They also assist the ADAs in cases to make sure that cases are prepped. They as well connecting survivors with counseling and social services. In addition, we also work with survivors in assessing their safety and any concern, emotional safety and physical safety. We also partner with our relocations program, our relocation assistance unit, in providing safety to those survivors that come forward. Our coordinators don't just work on the legal side. They are advocates, they're listeners, and guys who make sure survivors never have the negative, they never have to navigate the system alone. They collaborate closely with prosecutors, investigators, and community partners such as WAR to make sure the voices of survivors are heard, their rights are protected, and that their well-being is prioritized through this process. Survivors of sexual violence deserve to be believed. They deserve to feel safe and to know that they're not alone through this process. Our Victim Services Unit is here to provide the guidance, the advocacy, and support the support that they need to move forward and to find some healing and some justice through this process.
Good afternoon. My name is Lakeisha Anthony. I am the Senior Manager of Advocacy at WAR Philadelphia Center Against Sexual Violence. I stand before you today not only as an advocate, but also as a survivor of sexual assault. As someone who has lived through the trauma of sexual violence, I understand the fear, the isolation, and the weight of coming forward. It takes an extraordinary amount of strength to share your story, to endure a forensic exam, and to potentially face your perpetrator, especially in a world that doesn't always listen or believe. But today is proof that your voices can lead to action, that your truth can be heard, that sexual violence is prevalent in our society, and that survivors' voices do matter. At the Center of Sexual Violence, we walk beside survivors every single day through crisis, through healing, through silence, and through justice processes. What this case shows that collective action is a form of transformation. And we thank every individual from law enforcement to the DA's office and all of those who were involved in apprehending this individual and ensuring that these survivors' voices are heard and that justice can possibly happen. For many survivors impacted by this individual's action, this moment is a moment of relief, but also a moment of reliving trauma. These charges represent more than a legal action. They represent validation. This public acknowledgement that something happened was real, that it was wrong, and that justice is actually possible. It takes incredible strength to speak out and to relive your trauma. So to survivors out there today, I want you to hear this clearly. We believe you. We honor your courage. Whether you reported your assault or not, whether you're a part of this case or this investigation or not, your experiences matter. We want you to know that you do not need to carry this alone or share your story alone. You don't need to report to be validated, but we ask that you do report because we can help to prevent others from happening. You deserve support, safety, and healing. And you can find that at WAR. Our services are free, they're confidential, and they're open to all genders and all backgrounds and all individuals who have experienced sexual violence as well as their loved ones. If you experienced it last night or 20 years ago, we are there to hear your story and to help you navigate the process. Today's charges are not the end of the road. They are the beginning of a broader conversation that we all need to continue to have about prevention, about accountability, and about truly centering survivors and how we respond to sexual violence. So I thank all of you, from media to those individuals who called in tip lines, those individuals, survivors who actually came forward, and all of these individuals who work in the process of bringing justice. We thank you for hearing survivors and ensuring that survivors' voices are heard, and we hope that justice will be served in this case. Thank you.
I just want to thank all the speakers for their excellent comments. I noted, among many other important comments, the notion of collective action. Okay, so the Philadelphia police did a nice job here. They jumped in, they did some really good investigation, and then they sent us a warrant, because we are the ones who have to approve a warrant to make sure there is probable cause to justify an arrest. And we turned it around. We made sure it was good enough, and we got it done. And then the police arrested this individual, and they recommended charges, which is what they do. And then we decided the charges, which is what we do. And we brought these charges. And then there was a preliminary arraignment where we get to ask for bail, and we asked for big bail, and we got big bail, as we should. These are heinous acts. They are terrible. In a sense, that was collective action among professionals, but I want to talk about the action of this weekend. I want to talk the action of next week. What does it mean in a welcoming city, in a city of brotherly love and sisterly affection and non-binary niceness? What does it mean if people, instead of being afraid and staying home, turn out in bigger numbers? Do you understand that you're not just walking down the street? You are stepping on this man for what he did. You are becoming another presence on the street who will prevent criminal actions against people. This man was chasing down women who were by themselves. They're walking down a narrow street. There's nobody around. You can even see him on the videos, the ones we will not show for good reasons. You can even see him on the video looking around to make sure he could pull this one off, pulling up his hoodie as he came right up behind one of these people. Well, your being out there makes it so someone like him can't do that, because everybody's out there. Your being out there is collective action to remind anybody who might want to offend this way that they're getting caught, they're getting locked up, they're getting prosecuted, they're doing jail time. And then they will probably have other consequences the rest of their lives if and when they get out. That's what you're doing. So do not let the Dynel Walkers of the world win. Let us get out there on this beautiful weekend. Women, people of goodwill of all kinds, let us get out there on this weekend. This city is not the Handmaid's Tale, even though there might be somebody in Washington, D.C. who's trying to make it that. Let us get out there. Let us support women. Let us support kids. Let us support anyone who might be the victim of sexual assault by making it clear that we're not afraid, that we are acting collectively, that we are together, that we are here to support you and keep you safe on the street. But we're also here to make sure that if someone wronged you in the past and it wasn't reported, that we try, that we give it our best effort. We are here to say, we know 100 reasons why people don't always want to report this. We want to reduce the number of reasons. We want to make it clear how important it is that you all come forward and that we protect, not erase, protect women, girls, and others in this society. Brian Zalai, 29 Fox. Any questions?
I don't think so, sorry.
All right, thank you. Manuel Noguera. Any questions, sir?
Just at some point, if we could just kind of go over that in Spanish, help them know, but
Yep.
I don't have any separate questions.
All right. Well, we can then do that now, I guess. Anybody who wants to help can. Estamos aquí para decir que hemos arrestado y hemos puesto cargos en contra un señor que violaba a mujeres en el centro de la ciudad de Filadelfia a lo menos 3 veces. Vamos a encarcelar, vamos a proseguir intentamos tener convicciones y sentencias a causa de sus acciones horribles. Ojalá que todo el mundo entienda que estamos juntos en esta lucha contra esos que quieren violar a mujeres, a niños, a otras personas, y estaremos juntos este fin de semana y en las semanas que vienen para proteger a nuestras mujeres, hijas, hijos y otros, para asegurar que estemos seguros juntos. All right.
Gracias. En adicción también podemos hablar sobre los servicios a las víctimas. En este caso, es importante que las víctimas también sepan dónde conseguir ayuda si necesitan contactarse con nuestra oficina. Nosotros tenemos servicios acá en la oficina, en la Fiscalía, para víctimas que han sido de cualquier crimen, pero especialmente para las víctimas que han sido víctimas de violencia, de acoso sexual o violencia doméstica. Tengamos un equipo de aquí en la oficina, en la unidad de servicios de víctimas, que trabajan con las víctimas solamente para ayudarlos en la corte, si necesitan transporte, si necesitan cualquier ayuda, cualquier asistencia en lo que estamos procediendo el caso. Podemos asignar a nuestras víctimas a alguien que lo pueda ayudar acá. Y el mensaje que queremos dar es a las personas, a las víctimas que necesitan ayuda, que necesitan hacer un reporte, pueden contactarse con nuestra oficina y allá le paso la información al final. Okay?
All right, if there are no other questions, I just want to give a special thank you to Lakeisha Anthony of WAR for joining us here and being such a great partner with her organization these many years. And also a special thank you to all the good people in this office, the ones you've heard speak today, and a whole lot of others who are at their desks right now on a Friday afternoon working hard, who work every day to protect people from this. Thank you.